This tutorial digs a little deeper into master pages and how to use them, and this one really is for Dorico Pro users. I'm going to double-click the first master page to launch the master page editor, and you'll see I've got a slightly modified first master page here. By the way, I went in from one of the part layouts. Just as a reminder, there are actually two separate master page sets down here, the default part and the default full score. By default, the only real difference is that score layouts don't have this layout name token up in the left corner, I guess mostly because you don't need it on scores. From down here, you can create new master page sets, and you can also rename them and import and export them to other projects. When you start a new project or create a new layout, Dorico automatically assigns a master page set to it. The master page set is essentially a layout template separate from the musical content, and it's an assortment of text frames, which are the green ones, music frames, usually just one, and they're blue, and potentially graphics frames, which, if I had one, is pink. And this set of frames gets superimposed onto whatever page size is specified in layout options, page setup, page size, and also subject to the page margins, which are down here, and you can have them different or mirrored for left and right if you like. And in the unlikely event you were wondering, yeah, I'm British, so I'm using A sizes here and millimeters, but you can change those things in preferences. By default, each master page set has a first page, which gets used for the first page of music, and a default page, which gets used for all the other pages. And each master page is really two master pages, a left and a right. There are buttons at the top to copy from left to right and right to left. So if your project has a subtitle, for instance, the master page editor is where you're going to want to put this. Notice it's the same right-click menu and the same text toolbar you've already seen. And you would need to do something like a subtitle once for the part first master page. And if I bring up layout options, you can see that all four of the part layouts are using the same default part master page set, but the score's using a different master page set. So you'd need to put the subtitle on the score master page separately. Text frames have a vertical alignment property. If I change this, see how both the left and the right versions change? That's because these frames are linked by default. If for some reason you want them to be different on the left and right pages, you'd need to delete one of these frames and recreate it. So you can delete frames by clicking any of the edges and then typing delete or backspace. And you can add new ones from the left panel. You might need to pop out this panel. Click whatever you like, music, text, graphics, and then click and drag on the page. And if it's a text frame or a graphics frame, hit enter or double click to put stuff in. And if you click on the square handles, you can use Alt up and down to adjust the edges of the frame, or add Command or Control, so that's Command Alt up, Command Alt down for bigger distances, that's Alt right and left, and Command Alt right and Command Alt left for the sides of the frames, and you can also set the values in the Properties panel. One thing to watch out for if you're ever working with different page sizes, these constraints, the padlocks, work in tandem with these properties. So this music frame is constrained to all four margins, meaning that if I change to a bigger paper size, it's going to grow to fill the bigger page. But if I turn off the padlock for the bottom margin, say, this height property automatically fills. So let me just apply. So if I then increase the paper size to A3, oh, and I made the same mistake here. This frame will stay 226 millimeters tall, right? So be careful with that. Now, this is an introductory course, so I can't get into too much depth here, but if you happen to delete and then create a new music frame, I'll just copy left to right. You're almost always going to want to set this frame chain dropdown to MA, or at least whatever the first M is on that list. And if you get problems with the same music showing up multiple times in your layout, that's probably the place to look. And leave these set to all.